Welcome to my humble abode. I'm Yorkie the Talespinner, and this is Tales Over Coffee, the channel where we start the day together with a narrative tale and a cup of coffee in the hope of welcoming a blessed day. We return now to Disco Elysium, and my rather dishevelled appearance in the world as a cop, in a world where apparently the cops are not very official, the union runs everything, and I'm a deadbeat drunk.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
He motions toward the sprawl of the lorries and the sweep with a sweeping gesture. What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days.
He glances down the road. Limbo, huh? That's where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
So how long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak. Or he just likes unusual words. Or both.
Don't dig your style, man.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
He snickers in appreciation of the digging of his style.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Care to spare some change for working stiff?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
They who?
The bosses, man.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. First work, then pay.
Makes sense. It sucks is what it does.
Tell me more about this strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. No way in or out.
What is it the union's demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What do you think of the company? What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else I should know about my friend?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glances down the road toward the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes. Know anything about the dead man, the one hanging behind the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Busy? Doing nothing, working the whole day through? Trying to find lots of things not to do. Busy with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Ask for his conclusion.
And what is your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Know anything about the dead man, the one hanging behind... Oh, I asked that. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him. Relax. He's merely joking.
Wicked, I've always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
So, nothing illegal, then you're saying.
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Is that your machine just behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
I'm guessing that's a Falcon A6 you got.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
Maybe I'm a trucker, not a cop. That'd make more sense.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
Any chance I could get one of them Falcon tracksuits you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. And another question.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
What do I see in his eyes?
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Man, you look sad. What's going on with you?
I'm okay, man. Just... the jams got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
The man recedes into his days of words. I need to check that pain.
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
Alright, I'm good for now. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
You just salute with 2 fingers. Let's hope it's not the English version of the 2-fingered salute. Goods from the lorry haphazardly litter the surrounding. Thought I can get up there. A bold slogan, Humnox. What's the truck? This vehicle? Foreign car kept in good condition. Oh, there's someone over here. Not someone I can talk to though. Oh, he's probably stored here. Now they store booze. Let's step back. It looks like there might be a protest over there. We'll go to that in a bit. Ruins full of snow. No one lives here anymore. There's someone here.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is grey like lead.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask you some questions?
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Try to snap her out of it.
Wait,
And then it stops before you can snap.
she's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why?
Why? I just told you why.
Oh, if you say so. Nothing down here then. So let's see what this... Talk to this guy. That's a big one.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbour gate. His voice is the loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man. What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everybody else here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why should I do that?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Okay then, I'm thinking no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of cause are we talking about though?
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their family.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases.
Oh, I think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scab.
The loitering man follows in return. What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
Who are all these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
Many would say that's exactly what you are, though, as you're breaking the strike that's going against corporate interests. The man runs a hand through his seedily greying military haircut.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud?
Probably.
No, they follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to reach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Wait, head measurer?
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
How bad could one guy be? You seem capable.
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Have you considered storming in? Like, all of you together, en masse, go, boom, boom, boom.
Why don't you Go arrest them instead. I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
Apparently they're union and we're cops and they have the law, not us.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
The man rubs his jaw. A perfect, lightly bearded square wedge. I want to get in the harbour too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
No, I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here, behind the hostel cafeteria there.
I know nothing about a murder.
His reply is snappy and terse. Well, that was quick to deny. Me think the gentleman does deny too much.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him.
Absolutely nothing, sir.
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work!
He shakes
Shameful.
his...
Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Oh, no.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity. Let us work!
I'm just gonna leave now.
Scab?
Asked the man with jolly eyes, tilting his head.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Hold on, where did they all come from? That's a good question. Where are they from? What's going on?
Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mask, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they're scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried talking to them at all?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
Well, I'm not a scab. I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money."
He chuckles, then realizes.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
No, I've come investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Maybe you want to help me solve it by telling me who did it.
Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He gives you a sly smile.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
I need to know what's beyond these gates. I'm exploring.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
And he gazes over the roundabout with a glint of longing. Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
That simple, really. I don't believe it. I can just walk in.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Past Measurehead.
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him,
Right.
then press the button to unlock the door,
Mm-hmm.
then go past him again,
Okay, I'm getting the picture
and
here.
you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
So you'd actually say they're quite difficult, aren't you? Probably fatal, even.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation.
At the moment, I'm not sure I can best vomiting in a physical confrontation.
Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has anyone ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Have any of the scabs tried converting to his worldview?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Alright, I've got it. What about another thing?
Sure.
I'm a bit short of money right now. Can you spare some?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyardero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Lieutenant Kizagari picks up the coin and hands it to you. Thank you.
Right, always glad to help out the RCM.
100
The same
real.
branch, you and I. Humans, I mean.
Oh, that must
Not
be small.
slithering scabs.
What's the strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Alright, my friend. Nice talk. Gotta get moving. It's a GRIH, whatever that is. In case of strike, press button behind gap. Yeah. Hermetically sealed door locked by electronic means. Measure head crushes all. That must be measure head.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Young woman at the giant's side agrees.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Alright, say nothing and size him up.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
That's a big word. Morphophysiology is a fairly big word too, but that is a bigger one. A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy anyway?
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul.
What? His face contorts in disgust as if he was smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Al-Ghul? Al who?
Yes, Al-Ghul.
He means alcohol.
Oh, you mean alcohol?
Correct. My small skull servant.
He nods approvingly.
Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison. A parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
The Little Maran people did not invent alcohol. It's existed since the Neolithic.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and their Rolam and Hul have fed your people. Go on believing in it, race loser.
I don't think that's how history works.
Why don't you have another drink? Your features are not yet congenitally deformed enough.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
The babe looks at him with eyes full of admiration that transcend the merely sexual. Kim, is it really so bad?
It's not good.
You're right, I'm a servant of Algol, but I need to enter the harbour.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it.
The race stuff is unimportant here. I just need you to help me do my job, please.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass via for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor.
Okay, you're right about all this. Now I just need you to let me into the harbour.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity.
Don't think I know what that word
inviting
means.
the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory.
Wouldn't that mean
He
me
will
have...
take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a seminary supremacist myself?
Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Alright, let's subscribe to that then. I mean, I can't get any worse as a person, can I?
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
As you're right, I'm new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races there are.
Do you?
These were the thing, Kim, the thing.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then, to you, he lets out an audible sigh.
You are obviously a liberal, Sayerlight. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Well, tell me about Type A.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades in Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort. wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Who exactly are these Maun you keep talking about?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My people simply call them Maun.
Mahun is a derogative term for First World people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Huhu, are much more lactose intolerant.
The wooden clogs, though?
In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Okay, I've got it. So who are the Type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the Golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem.
I'm not sure even I can get down with this guy.
Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
And who are the Seminese and Areopagites in this area?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagites are on the ascent.
And the Seminese are...
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands. I am Seminese, from the stock of Ulmuir on Ile de Fantôme.
And the Areopagites?
The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran deserts. The Seminese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Maran to Ansuland, thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun Occidentals discovered this place.
Wait, didn't Il Maram desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
Weren't the Ilmarans pillaged by my people and then alcohol happened and all that?
No, those were scimitar-wielding race losers of Zahrava, Izzet, and Bashir, with their Himmi servants. Big difference. The Areopagites were fasting and conquering while this happened. You never penetrated the western dunes.
Jean, baby, you're on fire.
The young woman looks adoringly.
I know, bae.
What's the difference between the Seminese and Areopagites?
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
Nature was not capable of more.
And Type B?
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people.
Ooh, you don't sound very nice, really, as a chap, do you?
The Koikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
You said Quakers. I've been trained to identify them as white in official documents.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen.
I think your words are conflicting with themselves, my friend.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco, and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
You don't like ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semenine to the Boreal Plateau of Katla.
Ah, you don't like the tiny ones, I've got it.
Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos.
And the Vachelier you mentioned?
The Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
Yeah, I've heard about the revolution. Mistakes were made, but it was the right stuff. You're wrong about it.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zara's written potato cards. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia.
Uh-huh.
The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Koiko to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes, potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
Alright, and the vial C2F race cauldron of the pederasty, please?
Chips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric experiments? What do you mean?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Semenese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Maybe I misunderstood something, but aren't humans too similar to produce genetically sterile offspring? I mean, once in a while, but generally?
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
The sage will not budge on this.
Anymore.
Then there is the Semino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Semino Koiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Yeah, go ahead,
The
tell me.
Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and great servility. This will never happen. The Seminese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Seminese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Koiko woman, or Koika. But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
Well, no, but now that I've been through all the time, do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you let me into the harbour if I do?
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way, without becoming a race theoretician.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
So how do I word this mystery?
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Alright, let's discuss something else,
I
can we?
cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
You said the Union, don't you? Are they white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
I see. His eyes turned towards the harbour, seemingly bored with you.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Yeah, but you still serve them. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
I see. So you're novelist. I've got it. Well, communism does sound pretty cool, sir.
Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Everywhere around you, the fruits of its failure to challenge the world order. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases.
I see.
Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
Youth culture doesn't affect my thinking. I'm way too old.
Of course it does. You are a degenerate individualist and a rock and roll rebel.
Rock and roll,
A
dude.
pawn of international
no.
finance, just like the rest of your ham-colored race. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
I don't really know who the Seminoles are. I've recently experienced head trauma.
I can see that. The Seminoles are the South Island race, haplogroup A4A, the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago.
I see.
We are the future. That is all you need to know.
So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pay.
You did not come from the islands then?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
So you're not really Seminoles, you're just from Revachol?
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Seminoles strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
Yeah, and what do you think about this?
I don't think anything about this. We are wasting our time having this conversation.
Your pedomorphic friend is right. You should leave here with your tail between your legs, contemplating race extinction. I am an immovable obstacle.
What are those tattoos of you supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
He gestures to the lorryman down the street.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
Are you sure? I mean, that jaw is clearly an atavistic stigmata.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
I'm sure it does.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
Let's go over that funky race classification again.
There is nothing funky about
Right,
it.
let's
I
talk about
cannot
something else.
possibly imagine.
And I
what
best
else.
leave.
Hey, psst,
Who? What, me?
hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
How's the word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners.
I'm pretty sure I've never said
devour
that.
all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets. Literally murder all human beings, regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
Well, I say I'm pretty sure I've never said that, but given some of the idiotic things I've done, I'm not sure of anything right now. Yeah, I might have said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those, surely.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind.
Yeah?
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Wait, first, what's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
Failure? I seem to be good at that.
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world.
I will.
You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
I am.
Now get to work, comrade.
Alright, if you tell me so. I mean, you seem to know what you're talking about, so I'll opt in.
Oh yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
Wait, what firing squad? You didn't say anything about the firing squads. What firing squads?
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
Alright, let's roll up those sleeves and get on with it. Health 1 out of 2, morale 2 out of 4, bonus and thoughts none. Hobo cop, -1 composure, 4 hours 20 minutes. Mazovian socioeconomics, -2 visual calculus. Oh, I can internalize something. Advanced race theory. Okay. Don't have any of the others, but I can do one or more of these. Well, I opted into this communism thing, so let's internalize that, shall we? And look at this bit. We will come back next time. See you then. Meantime, enjoy your coffee, have a blessed day, and if you want to help the channel grow, hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.